Hi everyone, thank you so much for watching Behind the Brand. I want to give a special shout out to my friends at Pixability for making this episode possible. And don't forget to subscribe. It actually makes a huge difference to convince the people that don't believe you can watch awesome content like this for free on YouTube. Hope you enjoy the next episode. Thanks for watching.
Hey, I'm Nev Schulman, and you're watching Behind the Brand.
Nev, how did you get this job?
Job?
Yeah. Of being you.
I'm sorry. Okay, I thought you meant working for Casey, because everyone sort of does. I got just really sort of a combination of very lucky and strangely uniquely prepared to do what I do, because I lived an interesting life. I did a lot of different things, made a lot of mistakes, and sort of found myself in the right place at the right time when something interesting happened to me. And my brother happened to be a filmmaker, and I kind of just tapped into the phenomenon of catfishing, as it now is called.
Yeah. Is it officially added to the dictionary?
It is. It is now in all 3 major English dictionaries.
How do you feel about that? It's being published.
Yeah, well, right. I mean, it's the Oxford English was the one that took the longest, and that was the real achievement. But I think it's incredible. I'm amazed how quickly that happened, and I think it's great because we took something that was happening that people were talking about quietly and discussing amongst themselves, and gave it a name, which in turn gave it a platform to be discussed in a much bigger way, which I think is helpful because of the sort of potential negative effects of catfishing.
Yeah. Well, a lot of these things that we start with one intention, and it turns out to be something completely different.
Yeah. Well, for sure, there was never any projected future or expectations for what I thought was just sort of a cute little documentary would turn into a big documentary, would turn into a TV show. Like, I never thought any of that would come as a result.
How's it changed your life? Are you a different person because of, I mean, you're making a huge difference in the world by just bringing this to the surface. I mean, I mean it. I'm sincere about that, because a lot of people don't understand the upsides and downsides of the internet in general, and everything that's happening. But how has it changed you personally?
I think it's empowered me. I mean, I've always been a leader of sorts, and whether it's on the basketball court in terms of being a captain of a team, or
Are you a baller? I didn't know that.
Well, I mean, in high school I played basketball. I was not varsity, but I was very small.
There's some courts here.
But,
I mean, maybe
yeah,
after.
we can ball.
Let's go.
But I mean, I've always wanted to move people. I've always wanted to be at the front of a movement of some kind, and the biggest change is that now I feel like I actually have a platform, and I have a following, and I can encourage people to do things, and in some cases they'll listen. So it's a lot of pressure, but I love it, and I've latched onto it, and now I'm looking for opportunities and ways that I can use that leverage, both social media and otherwise, to actually move the needle towards, acceptance and kindness and all things good.
A lot of people watch this show, they're entrepreneurs, they're creators, they have a dream, but they get stuck. They get stuck in failing to execute, or fear of failure, or what advice? Look in the camera and kind of give them some advice. What would you say to them? I mean, if we look behind us, we're here at Casey Neistat's meetup for Beam. Right. We're all here to support.
Yeah. I mean, Casey Neistat gives better advice than anybody. His whole thing is, you got to have laser beam focus, figure out exactly what you want to do, and no matter how much resistance you get, or how many people tell you it's not going to work, or that it's not the right way to do it, believe in it. And even if it's not the most commercial version of what you're doing, or it's not the most profitable, or doesn't get you the most popular, if you establish yourself as a very specific thing, and you only do that one thing, eventually people will start to hear about it, and you'll realize that rather than trying to appeal to many people who care this much, you'll appeal to a smaller group of people who care this much, and that will end up being enough people. And you can see that, like, this is people here for Casey, like a guy that just makes a very, very specific type of video that, for the last 10 years I've known him, a lot of people have just been like, I don't get it, but here he is now, and people are getting it.
Yeah. Talk to us about why we're here today. I mean, obviously we've been at VidCon, it's been a big kumbaya, it's been awesome, but talk to us about Beam and what you think Casey's vision for it is.
Well, people are here for beam codes.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's what's so wonderful and exciting about what he did with Beam, which was that he created something that is meant to be used by everyone in an instant way, except for the first time, everyone's got to deal with the fact that like they can't get it right away. And I think just making people want something is a new phenomenon amongst a generation of people that are so used to just that instant gratification.
Yeah.
So off the bat, I thought that was brilliant. But I also am very excited about the app because I'm kind of overwhelmed by social media. What do I post on? How do I look? Is it funny enough? Is it good? And this removes almost me from the content. It says like, this isn't about me. I don't care how I look. It's just about where I am, what I'm looking at, who I'm with. And I think that's just a refreshing new way to engage with people without actually having to worry about yourself.
What mistakes have you made?
Oh my God, so many mistakes.
Share some of them. And I asked that because, hindsight is 20/20, right? And
Is it? Everyone always, I feel like I still have so many mistakes I've made that I don't really know what I should have done.
What's that saying though? It's like, the first time, shame on them.
Shame on me.
Yeah. So it's like, if we don't learn from our mistake, then it's on us, right? What have you learned then in this short amount of time about being an entrepreneur, being a creator?
I think people want authenticity.
Yeah.
So the second you try to appeal to anybody else, you lose a little bit of who you are. And while you might potentially please more people, the negative effects of watering down who you are in the long run in terms of actually being a unique, important, meaningful voice diminish. So you really just need to like hold fast.
Did you get a lot of that from MTV? Did they want you to be a certain persona, or oh, we need more drama, or?
Not so much from MTV, just from being on television. Like when you're in the public eye, you become incredibly sensitive and aware of what people think of everything that you do and say, and all of a sudden you stop doing and saying things because you don't want to upset people. And in fact, it's kind of the opposite. You become more popular and more loved and liked when you stand up for yourself.
Yeah.
So the less you represent how you really feel, the less people care about how you feel.
Yeah. We've been spending a few minutes with entrepreneur, filmmaker, and awesome dude, Nev Schulman.
Thanks.
Who has just educated us that Beam is taking the me out of social media. Nev, thanks a lot.
Yeah, thank you. Now I'll take a lot of selfies.
Let's go. Thanks, dude.